Hello my friends. After a few different videos that I've made, occasionally people approach me to propose evaluating a certain series or to look at certain themes or ideas that they've noticed inside a game or show. It doesn't happen very often, so I'm very excited for every one that I receive. They provide good leads for where to look next, as well as to let me know what y'all want to see on the channel next. However, not all ideas that a series puts forward are deep enough for me to consider making a video on it. Any narrative is going to have a multiplicity of ideas and themes that come into play, or at least any good one will if they want to give an effective degree of realism to their setting. Because of that, some themes just won't be explored enough in any given story to be fleshed out enough to speak about. Only one or two ideas become dominant over the full course of a narrative. On the other hand, sometimes even a main narrative theme won't be thorough enough for me to find anything I want to discuss. For example, how many anime out there have the theme that friendship will overcome every problem, or the theme that trying to do your best will lead to success? It's a massive number. Now think about how many of these shows have a main character who, when pressed to give a reason to think that way by an antagonist, will state something generic like, "It's just the right thing to do," or "I don't know why, but that's how I am," or anything else that is equally non-committal or non-explanatory. It is extremely lazy writing in my opinion. The thing that these unexplored themes and the non-committal main themes have in common is that they lack any presence of an argument. A story's morale of friendship is good is all well and fine as a conclusion, but it becomes uninteresting and meaningless if the idea that it is pitted against, or the show's theme itself, doesn't have reasoning that may compete with each other for the audience's agreement. With no premises that establish the breadth or importance of the conclusion, then the conclusion has no impact. When so many protagonists are given the character of just a normal bystander or a non-specific cool guy that allows the audience to project themselves onto, the antagonists inevitably become the more interesting character by merely the virtue of the fact that antagonists have goals that they want to accomplish, and they explain why those goals are important. Villains always give arguments for why they do what they do, and thus their ideas have weight. But even though I'm talking in terms of protagonists, antagonists, and characters explaining themselves, it doesn't have to come in the form of monologues. Plot events, metaphors, environmental storytelling, character creation, and even the design of user interfaces in games can all contribute to an inductive argument toward a conclusion. I recognize, however, that it is a lot of work to create distinct philosophies and have them compete, so I don't really fault a show for not doing this. A video game I can fault a bit more, since they usually have more avenues for an argument, but I won't begrudge any game that doesn't if I like the gameplay and have fun with it. In other words, the anime and games that I most enjoy evaluating give reasons for their ideas and conclusions. Arguments give me something to talk about. When a game doesn't give an argument, I end up not having enough to talk about to make the kind of video I want to make. And I think I would do a disservice to the show or game if I tried to force it. The other kind of analyses I like to write is if I can draw some kind of theoretical connection to a specific philosopher or school of philosophy that I already know about. These are a bit harder to come by, which is why when something like Nier Automata was literally making every moment a reference to a philosopher or a school of philosophy, I lost my mind. That's all I really have to say about the topic though. I will look at anything to see if there's something I want to talk about, but it's just not always going to leave that kind of impression on me. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this short little aside where I explained sort of my interest in what I want to look at in the future to put on this channel, by all means, please subscribe and give me some suggestions of your own. You guys really do help make this channel have more content in the future, and I'm always appreciative. That's not just me saying that. If you really enjoyed it, go ahead and share this video or any of the other videos on the channel with your friends. I don't pay anyone to market for the channel, so the only way that we can grow is with your help. Thank you again, and as always, stay true.